Today our topic is how to avoid emotional reactivity with Stoicism. Life is full of moments that test our emotions. Someone says something hurtful, things don't go as planned, or we face situations that feel unfair. In these moments, it's easy to react emotionally. Anger, sadness, frustration, or even despair can take over. But what if there was a way to stay calm, to not let these emotions control us? This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to handle life's challenges with calm and clarity. It's not about suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. Instead, it's about understanding them, managing them, and not letting them dictate our actions. Let's explore how Stoicism can help us avoid emotional reactivity and live a more peaceful, focused life. First, let's talk about what emotional reactivity is. Emotional reactivity is when we let our emotions take over in the moment. For example, if someone criticizes you, and you immediately feel hurt or angry and respond in a way you later regret, that's emotional reactivity. It's like being on autopilot. Your emotions control your actions without you thinking. Stoicism teaches us to pause, to think before we react, and to choose how we respond. This doesn't mean we become emotionless robots. It means we don't let our emotions make decisions for us. One of the key ideas in Stoicism is the concept of control. The Stoics believe that some things are within our control, and some things are not. For example, you can't control what other people say or do, but you can control how you respond. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. This idea is powerful because it shifts our focus from things we can't change to things we can. When we focus on what we can control, we feel more empowered and less reactive. If someone insults you, instead of getting angry, you can think, this person's words are not within my control, but how I respond is. This simple shift in thinking can help you stay calm and avoid unnecessary emotional reactions. Another important Stoic concept is perception. The Stoics believed that it's not events themselves that upset us, but our perceptions of those events. For example, if you lose your job, you might feel like your world is falling apart. But another person might see it as an opportunity to start fresh. The event is the same, but the perception is different. This means we have the power to change how we feel by changing how we think. When something upsetting happens, instead of immediately reacting, ask yourself, how can I see this differently? What's another way to look at this situation? By changing your perception, you can reduce your emotional reactivity and find peace even in difficult situations. Stoicism also teaches us to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment, fully aware of what's happening without judgment. When we're mindful, we're less likely to react emotionally because we're paying attention to our thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. For example, if you feel anger rising, instead of acting on it, you can pause and observe the feeling. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion helpful? By being mindful, you create a space between the emotion and your response, which gives you time to choose how to act instead of reacting impulsively. Another Stoic practice is to prepare for challenges in advance. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, which means premeditation of evils. It's not about being pessimistic, but about being realistic. By imagining difficult situations ahead of time, you can prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. For example, if you're worried about a presentation at work, imagine what could go wrong. What if you forget your lines, or the audience doesn't seem interested? By thinking about these possibilities, you can plan how to handle them. This reduces anxiety and helps you stay calm if things don't go as planned. When you've already thought about the worst-case scenario, it's easier to handle it without overreacting emotionally. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of focusing on what truly matters. The Stoics believe that many of the things we get upset about are not as important as we think. For example, If someone cuts you off in traffic, it's easy to feel angry. But is it really worth your energy? The Stoics would say, no. They encourage us to focus on things that are meaningful and let go of trivial matters. By prioritizing what's important, we can avoid getting caught up in emotional reactions to things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of life. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is to remind yourself of the impermanence of life. The Stoics called this Memento mori, which means remember that you will die. This might sound morbid, but it's actually a reminder to live fully and not waste time on petty emotions. When you remember that life is short, it puts things into perspective. That argument with a friend, that rude comment from a stranger, these things are small in comparison to the bigger picture. By keeping this in mind, you can let go of emotional reactivity and focus on what truly matters. Stoicism also teaches us to practice gratitude. When we're grateful for what we have, we're less likely to react emotionally to what we lack. For example, if you're upset because you didn't get a promotion, you can shift your focus to the things you're grateful for: your health, your family, your skills. Gratitude helps us see the bigger picture and reduces the intensity of negative emotions. It's a powerful tool for avoiding emotional reactivity because it shifts our focus from what's wrong to what's right. Another Stoic idea is to accept the natural flow of life. The Stoics believed that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't understand it. They saw challenges as opportunities to grow and learn. When we accept that life is unpredictable and sometimes difficult, we're less likely to react emotionally when things don't go our way. Instead of fighting against reality, we can adapt and find peace in the midst of chaos. This doesn't mean we should give up or stop trying. It means we should accept what we can't change and focus on what we can. Finally, Stoicism teaches us to practice self-discipline. Self-discipline is about controlling our impulses and making choices that align with our values. When we practice self-discipline, we're less likely to react emotionally because we're in control of our actions. For example, if you feel the urge to snap at someone, self-discipline helps you pause and choose a more thoughtful response. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. By practicing it daily, you can reduce emotional reactivity and live a more intentional life. In conclusion, Stoicism offers us a way to avoid emotional reactivity by teaching us to focus on what we can control, change our perceptions, practice mindfulness, prepare for challenges, prioritize what matters, remember impermanence, practice gratitude, accept life's flow, and develop self-discipline. These practices help us stay calm and focused, even in difficult situations. They remind us that we have the power to choose how we respond, no matter what happens. Life will always have its ups and downs, but with Stoicism, we can navigate them with grace and peace. So the next time you feel an emotional reaction rising, remember these Stoic principles. Pause, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with your values. In doing so, you will find greater clarity, resilience, and inner peace. That's the power of Stoicism.